Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, president of Thermalwood Canada, and host for the show. Our special guest today, Joel Robichaud. Joel, hi. How are you doing today?
Good, very good.
So, Joel, you've started a little business in downtown Bathurst and seen the opportunities that there was on the waterfront. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit about your business.
Well, I grew up in the area. A couple years ago, I moved out to Fredericton, which is where the business has started. But not at the time. I worked at the hospital for a couple of years and met my business partners, Greg Wallace and Matt Nicholson. And so we started a few projects here and there, but nothing ever really took off. Moved back to Bathurst, got a job here. And then we just started brainstorming some ideas we've had in the past, which included our hydro bikes at the time. No scooters back then. And so we decided, you know what, let's try this in Fredericton to start on the St. John River. So we found a spot, started with a few hydro bikes, got some good traffic, and someone mentioned the scooters. I was like, we should try the scooters. It was getting popular at the time. Not popular like it is now, but it was getting pretty popular. And so we put a few scooters out there, and that too started to gain a lot of attention, lots of traffic. So we bought some more scooters and so on. We tried a couple different brands. Some models worked, some models didn't work, and ended up with these scooters here.
Well, this is pretty impressive too, and the fact that you're from Bathurst, you've looked and seen the opportunity, because this waterfront area is absolutely amazing.
Untapped potential.
Oh yeah, and it's been there for years,
I know.
And we haven't seen it. There was way back when, I remember Ann Bard had a pontoon boat that actually left from here.
From the lighthouse.
Yeah, that's where the lighthouse came from.
Right.
And so they built the lighthouse as kind of the little office. They had the pontoon boats that went back and forth to the marina. And she had some kayaks too, but not to this extent in adding this stuff in.
Yeah, no. And I mean, the scooters didn't exist back then. So
yeah.
But
scooters, let's talk about those a little bit, because it was on the national news this week. There's a lot of discussions about some cities wanting them, some cities don't. But you've showed me some interesting stuff on what to do with with these scooters and how they work. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Well, these guys are what I would call not next generation scooters, but scooters built to rent. They're not like your typical scooters you would buy out at the store that you fold into your car. They're like smart scooters. We can track them by GPS. We've got a dashboard. There will be an app released that our customers can use and book themselves. So right now we're planning on having two different business model. So this business model being one where we cater to tourists and we cater to families and people. For example, if you've got a group of 5 people looking to rent the scooters, well, this is a great location for that, because you can book ahead of time. When you arrive, you've got 5 scooters fully charged, ready for you. And this is one business model. The other, which is where the technology comes in handy, is we can park these scooters at designated charge stations, and they go in and tap and go.
Oh, okay.
So you can preload your app. There's a wallet. You preload your money in there, and they're charged by the minute. You tap and go. And then those designated charge station, I've got a geofence area around them that we set up through our app and dashboard. So when you arrive back at the station, it ends the ride. So what we're planning to do is have this set up organized in different cities where they're not left in every corners or on the side of the streets or in a ditch. They have to return it to the designated charge spots in order to end the ride. If not, they keep getting billed. And this will prevent problems like you see in bigger cities where they find scooters laying in the grass and parking lots. So we don't want that. We don't want our scooters to become basically trash.
Yeah.
So this is the other business model, and I think between the two, so one caters more, like I said, to tourists and families and people looking to have fun, and the other one is more of a ride sharing aspect. So you take them from point A to B. So these are the two things we're looking to do with these guys, but it goes farther than that. We talked about the geofencing. We can use this to establish speed limits no-go zone like skate parks. We don't want people using these guys at the skate parks.
Yeah.
We know they try, but it's not the place to use them.
Yeah.
Don't abuse of the equipment is what I'm saying. So we no-go zone. The minute they drive into that area, it will shut off on them and get a notification that they shouldn't be there. Same goes for speed zones. If there's a certain bridge or a certain trails and there are bylaws that says 15 kilometers per hour maximum, well, we can enforce that with our scooters. They have no choice. It will slow down automatically.
So this is kind of the same technology that you have in golf carts. Yeah,
Yeah.
if anybody is golfing, you go in and they say certain areas you can't get close to the greens,
right.
can't do this, got to follow the paths, or they shut down.
Yeah.
And I've been to golf courses all through the province that have those kind of things. So that technology, it's interesting how they've adapted it to the scooters too at the same time.
Yeah, because they're fun and they're starting to pop all over the place. And but the problem with that is people don't always respect the rules of the road. They go fast where they shouldn't. So it help us regulate those things, make sure people drive safe and all that.
Well, it's kind of interesting. So, we've had a bit of a crazy summer, it's not one of our normal summers, and there's been quite a bit of rain like there is today. But on the days that it's been beautiful, I've driven by downtown, there's all kinds of people here.
Always, yeah. Yeah, if the sun shines, we get people. It's been pretty steady. I can say it's been a success.
So demographic wise, is it local tourists, or do you know? Can you tell at this point like how it's worked out?
I think a good mix of both. A lot of locals too. People are looking to do different activities up there, so I think people have been interested. And I'm just getting the first month. Not everyone knew that I was here, but now people are starting to catch word that we're here, and it's getting busier and busier. And I'm seeing a good mix of both. Yeah.
Well, the first time you set up your container here with the sign on it, everybody thought that we were a food truck. Yeah. Because this is where the food trucks normally hang out, but you still have room on either side so the food trucks can still be here. But I see more and more traffic when I go by, and I've been to Nectar's a couple of times when they were just a takeout. Yep. And looking at all the people that were out on the paddle boats, it was just amazing to see. Yeah, our hydro bikes. What's fun about them is they've got big yellow pontoons, so they're very noticeable. Yeah. So you see them from far, and it's good advertisement for us because people see them using them, they get curious, and they want to try it, right? Yeah. Well, we are also talking before the interview that you said the fireworks at Hospitality Days was a big hit. Yep. Because people actually rented them and went out and were underneath the fireworks. Yeah, we had a few equipment out to watch the fireworks. We had a couple scooters out during the fireworks as well. And just the traffic that we got on that day, just bringing awareness to our business, I think that helped us a bunch. Well, it's the location that you're at, like we talked about at the beginning of this interview. It's just it's an amazing place. It's an opportunity that hasn't been tapped into. Yep. You got water on every front. When they take the hydro bikes, they just stay inside the basin. They don't go outside underneath. We recommend this side or on the other side of that bridge, not across the St. Peter's Bridge, because we can't see them. We're not trained lifeguards, but we do like to keep an eye on people out in the water. So if something happens, we can at least report it or do something about it. At the end of the day, they signed a waiver. So if they really, really want to get out there, they can. But most people that try the kayaks and hydro bikes are not people that own the kayak. So they're usually a bit more careful. Mm-hmm. And they want to stay safe. So most people respect it. Good. So what are your plans for next year going forward? Because this is an opportunity to grow, right? Absolutely. We want to grow. We've talked about the two business models. We would like to get into Moncton, get potentially container in Moncton, and then the other side of business as well with our charging stations. I'm not entirely sure. I'm always coming up with new ideas, me and the partners, but I would like to add more equipment here. We're a little bit limited in space, but you never know. I've seen people get pretty creative with these containers. We might be able to somehow extend this, have more kayaks, more water equipment, somehow fit more scooters. Maybe we were supposed to get electric bikes as well with the same technology. We didn't get them this year, and it's a bit late in the season to get them going this year, but next year we're probably going to have a couple bikes as well. Well, all I can say is congratulations for taking the opportunity to improve and taking advantage of what we have here, bringing this to Bathurst, and your innovative ideas of being able to grow the business, not only here but also in the province. And that's one of the things that we try to showcase is innovative young people like yourselves that are becoming entrepreneurs, or looking at different things, or trying different things, aren't scared of trying different things, and bringing them to light, because we have the opportunity. So why not use them?
Well, yeah, that's what it's all about, right? Entrepreneurs, we have ideas, and we want to bring them to life.
Well, again, congratulations, and thank you very much for doing this. And there we are, another edition of Northern Heat for this week, the place you come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.